Hey Worlders, my name is Emma and welcome back to my channel. I'm back to do a Wheel of TBR. I've not done a Wheel of TBR on camera since like my second or third one. Yeah, I haven't done one since July. And part of it is because in July I got a huge crack in my MacBook, so I had to get a new one. And if you know anything about MacBooks, they no longer have the the SD card readers or the USB readers. So I had to get an adapter, and I took a couple of months to decide if I actually wanted to go through with continuing making videos because I'm so sporadic about it. But I do find that when I make videos, I hold myself accountable more for my reading, and I really do want to read more because I have such a huge collection of books. So I might just start making these videos, and they might be strictly for myself. I don't really care, but I did want to make them. I have been doing the Wheel of TBR off camera. I did it in September on my Instagram stories, although I don't even think I finished them. And I also just did it on my own in October and posted a picture on my Instagram, which I will leave linked down below. But I am going to do it now. I am not going to do any of the punishments. I'm actually going to treat it like it is a brand new game kind of, or back at square one, because I don't remember what I read in July. And I also am going to change my punishments slightly. Originally, I was going to do what a lot of other people do and just add a spin for every book that I'm not reading. But I saw an idea, and I cannot think of the channel name, but she does the TBR with M&Ms, and she actually was changing it. She made her punishment that it was a different card, and it was a more negative punishment, so the lowest on your TBR and stuff. So I'm actually going to, over the next month, come up with a bunch of red punishments, and they are going to be my red circles, and they're going to be my punishments. So for every book that I don't read, each spin that I do, I have to replace it with a red circle instead of a whitish tan circle, and those will just be the books that I'm less excited to read, I guess is what I would say. I am going to show you what I currently have on my wheel, as well as choose a new one from what was the last spin in October, even though you guys didn't see it. So currently I have a new to me author, a sequel, an LGBTQ plus author, a treat yourself, a Goodreads recommendation, a booktube recommendation, a set in a different country, start a new series, and a 5-star prediction on there. And then I also am going to draw out of my box to phone a friend. And as I have in the past videos, I am going to do 4 spins, so let's get started. Alright, and the first one is to read a 5-star prediction. So I'm going to go look through my 5-star predictions, and I will be right back. Okay, so for my 5-star prediction spin, I have 2 books left on my 5-star prediction list that I have not read yet. And actually, I did not have a good reading month, and like I said, I did do the spins in October. I just didn't film it. And this book was actually the other book from my 5-star prediction list was actually on my TBR from last month, and I didn't read it, so I just decided that I would go with the other one of the 2. So I am going to be reading Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. Like I said, this is the fourth out of my 5 5-star prediction books for this year. Most people know what this is about. It has been raved about up and down on BookTube for the last 2 years, I think. I think it came out in when did it come out? It came out in 2019, so the last pretty much 2 years. If you guys don't know what it's about, the back of the book says, when his mother became the President of the United States, Alex Claremont Diaz was promptly casted as the American equivalent of a young royal. Handsome, charismatic, genius, his image is a pure millennial marketing gold for the White House. There's only one problem. Alex has a beef with an actual prince, Henry, across the pond, And when the tabloids get a hold of the photo involving Alex and Henry's altercation, U.S. and British relations take a turn for the worse. Heads of the family and state and other handlers devise a plan for damage control. Stage a truce between the two rivals. What at first begins as a fake Instagrammable friendship grows deeper and more dangerous than either Alex or Henry could have imagined. Soon, Alex finds himself hurtling into a secret romance with a surprisingly unstuffy Henry that could derail the presidential campaign and upend two nations. It raises the question, can love save the world after all? Where do we find the courage and the power to be the people we are meant to be? And how can we learn to let our true colors shine? So this book is kind of like a what if the 2016 presidential elections hadn't happened. It actually is a perfect read for November as we go into the end of this election season, with the US election day actually coming up on Tuesday when I'm filming this. If this comes up before Tuesday and you're a US citizen, make sure you vote. But I'm very, very intrigued by this book. It has been on my TBR for a while, and I've been waiting for a spin to let me read it because it hasn't come. So I'm very excited. This actually might be the first book I read in November. Now we're going to replace 5-star prediction with a seasonal read. So if I get this, it just means I have to pick a book that is seasonally appropriate. So right now I might choose like a fall book, or I might even go far enough in and get a Christmas book. And it is time for spin number 2. A Goodreads recommendation. Oh my goodness. I don't even know if I have any Goodreads recommendation books. Alright. So what I was saying my Goodreads recommendations would be was I would go to my last 5-star book and I would look at books that other people have read, and that would be the book I would read. I am currently though not going to the library, so I am going to try to find a book that I already own so that I'm not going on Amazon and trying to find a book. But let's see, what was the last book I gave a 5-star read? So according to Goodreads, the last book that I gave a 5-star read to was Michigan versus the Boys, which actually still to this day has been my favorite book so far that I've read in 2020. So I actually do not own any of these books, but 2 of them are actually on my top of my TBR wish list on Amazon. So I'm actually going to go look at that and figure out which one's cheaper, and I probably will end up getting that book. Wait. Hold on. Hold on. I messed this up. I actually was looking at the wrong book. I was looking at the order that I added them to my TBR instead of the order that I read them in. And I actually think, yes, I was right. The actual last book I gave 5 stars was The Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds, which means I actually can choose a different book. Readers also enjoyed. And again, I don't own any of them. But there are ones that are on my TBR. I don't think any of them were on the top of my TBR list. Let me just check. Alright, for some reason Amazon's not letting me go down my list. So I believe I'm going to end up choosing to listen on audio. I don't normally do this for my TBRs where I pick... Actually, you want to know what we're going to do? We're going to do 5 spins this month, and I'm going to make this one a audio book because there is a book on the recommended, on like the way that this would work for me, that is an audiobook that I want to listen to. So I'm actually going to just make it an audiobook for the month, and then I will do an extra spin because normally I choose 4 physical books. But for this spin, I am going to choose Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. I've heard nothing but great things about this book, and I've heard it is a great audiobook. So that is what I will be choosing for this like fake or not fake, but like added bonus spin, because I would rather listen to it on audio. If I really like it, I might buy the physical book, but I also just bought a whole bunch of books, so I really can't justify buying another one. But yeah, I'm going to choose to do an audio book for this spin and do Clap When You Land. And we are going to replace that one with a blurbed book, which just means it needs to be a book blurbed by a favorite author. And spin number 3. And it is to start a new series. So I'm going to go look at the books that I own and pick a new series to start. And the Whale also spun to start a new series. I went through my list and I actually have more like duology and companion series than I have actual series. And this book actually I think may have been on my July TBR. I took the book out of the library and ended up returning it, but I actually got my hands on a copy of this book and the sequel, so I decided that I would read 99 Days by Katie Contuno, which if I remember correctly has a love triangle, which I love, but this one says, Day 1. Julie Donnelly eggs my house for my first night back in Start Lake. She has every right to hate me, of course. I broke Patrick Donnelly's heart the night everything happened with his brother Gabe. A nasty note on my windshield makes it clear Julia isn't finished. I'm expecting a fight when someone taps me on the shoulder, but it's just Gabe, home from college, and actually happy to see me. For what it's worth, Molly Barlow, he says, I'm glad you're back. Day 12. Gabe wouldn't quit till he got me to come to this party, and I'm surprised to find I'm actually having fun. I think he's about to kiss me, and that's when I see Patrick. My Patrick, who's supposed to be clear across the country. My Patrick, who's never going to forgive me. 87 days of summer to go, and history is repeating itself. The last thing I want to do is come between the Donnelly brothers again. But the truth is, the Donnellys stole my heart a long time ago. So that is what 99 Days is about. Okay, and we're going to start a new series with... I gotta take off the circle. And we're going to replace it with a book that is an adaptation. So it can be an adaptation of a TV show or a movie or whatever I feel like. Oh my god, my nose is itchy. I'm really sorry. But yeah, it can be an adaptation of anything. All right, spin number 3. All right. And spin number 3 gave me a seasonal read. So I'm going to go look through my things and pick a seasonal read to read. So the Wheel spun a seasonal read, and this one might be stretching a little bit. I like went through a lot of my books, and anything that I thought could take place in the fall or have a specific season didn't take place in the fall. So I actually went with football season because it is American football season. Although I don't know what's going on with football in the quarantine, but that's okay. But I chose Fumbled by Alexa Martin. This is the second book in the companion series. I forget what the companion series is, but the first book is Intercepted, which I read in September. But this one follows a single mother, Poppy Patterson, moved across the country when she was 16 and pregnant to find a new normal. After years of hard work, she built a life she loves. It may include a job at a nightclub, weekend soccer games, and more stretch marks than she anticipated, but it's all hers and nobody can take that away. Well, except for one person. TK Moore, the starting wide receiver for the Denver Mustangs, dreamed his entire life about being in the NFL. His world is football, parties, and women. Maybe at one point he thought his future would be played out with his high school sweetheart by his side. But Poppy is long gone, and he's moved on. When Poppy and TK cross paths in the most unlikely of places, emotions they've suppressed for years come rushing back. But with all the secrets they've never told each other lying between them, they need more than a dating playbook to help them navigate their relationship. I really enjoyed the first book in this companion series, and I think it is a good football seasonal read because a lot of these are about football wives. Alexa Martin herself was a football wife, so she kind of has like the inside scoop, so I'm very intrigued by this one. And the first one did follow the Denver Mustangs, and TK was an adorable character in the first book. Alright, and we need to replace a seasonal read with a book that features LGBTQ plus characters. And let's get spinning. So the last one is To Treat Yourself. So So I'm going to pick a book off of my Amazon wish list, and I am going... Actually, you want to know what? I don't feel like I should treat myself to a book right now when I just said that instead of buying a book for my Goodreads recommendation for A Long Way Down, I didn't feel like I should with all the books I own. So I actually am going to do a mulligan on this bin. I'm going to keep it on the wheel because I literally just bought books last weekend. So I'm actually going to keep this on the wheel, and I'm just going to do a mulligan spin for it because I really just don't feel like I should be bringing another book into my collection right now after all the books that I just bought. So we're actually going to spin a mulligan spin. All right. And the last one I spun is a new to me author, which is perfect because almost every book that I just bought was a new to me author. So I am going to go find a new to me author and I will be back. The wheel did spin to read a new author. Almost every book I own at the moment is a new author. So I just kind of had to pick one that was intriguing, and a lot of the other spins brought me light romances. So I decided to go for a literary fiction. It kind of gives me a little bit of some like thriller feels though too, and it is Leave the World Behind by, oh, I should have looked up how to say this, Rumaan Alam. This was my book of the month pick for October, so it is a newer book. And this one says, Amanda and Clay head out to a remote corner of Long Island expecting a vacation. A quiet reprieve from life in New York City, quality time with their teenage son and daughter, and a taste of the good life in the luxurious homes they've rented for the week. But with a late night knock on the door and the spell is broken. Ruth and GH, an older couple who claim to own the home, have arrived there in panic. These strangers say a sudden blackout has swept New York, and with nowhere else to turn, they've come to the country in search of shelter. But with TV and internet down and no cell service, the facts are unknowable. Should Amanda and Clay trust this intruding couple, and vice versa? What has happened back in New York? Is the vacation home isolating from civilization truly a safe place for their family? And are they safe from the supernatural? So this book gave me, when I like saw it on Book of the Month, it gave me, oh my god, what's it called? I literally just read it this year. I can't think of what it's called, but I'm gonna pop it in here. It's a thriller I read earlier this year where it was like murders at a hotel, and that's what the vibes that this gave me. But I also have read some reviews about it that say it's a great look at racial tension in America because one of the families in the book is black and the other one is white, but it's also giving me these like thriller vibes. And again, I cannot think of the book, but Jess from Bowtie and Books did a whole video about this book in particular and how thrillers written by black authors are looked at differently. And it's also giving me vibes from this book right here. So I feel like it's going to be a combination of the two books, and I'm super, super excited about it. And I've never read anything by this author. I don't even know if this could be his debut, is it? No, he's the author of Rich and Pretty and That Kind of Mother as well. So I've never heard of either of those books, but I am very, very intrigued by this book. And these are the 4 physical books that I chose to read for the month: Red, White, and Royal Blue, Fumbled, Leave the World Behind, and 99 Days, as well as I spun the audiobook for Clap When You Land. I actually was thinking about it, and I think I actually am going to add that. I do like to mood read my audiobooks, but I think I am also going to make my Wheel of TBR 5 spins, and 4 will be physical books, and 1 will always be an audiobook, because I just think that actually is a fun way to kind of add the challenge to it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you've read any of these books, let me know in the comments down below, as well as telling me what you're super excited to read this month. And if you're still here and you have any ideas for red circle prompts, let me know in the comments down below, because I'm definitely gonna need some. I'm worried that at some point I'm gonna need one for every spot on the wheel. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next month with another one.